Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Charlotte and you can call me Charlie. So it is July, which means that it is bullet journal time. And honestly, to be honest, the main reason why I'm posting this this week, normally I post it the week of the first week of the next month, but I'm posting it now because your girl is not prepared. People keep asking me for stream times. Streaming as in, if you didn't know and you're new to my channel, I do writing streams occasionally. And so I need dates. And people are like, Charlie, what dates? And I'm like, hold up. I don't know anything. So this is my method of getting back to people. I made this earlier in the month so that I knew what dates are coming up, so that I know what is happening when. It is a process, but we got this. So this month's theme is owls, and I had no idea what I wanted to do for this spread because, owls are adorable and everything, but I didn't have a style. I tend to go for a more cartoony style for most of my bullet journals, and that is totally fine. You can do whatever you want in your bullet journal. If you want to make it, just plain minimalistic, just having the dates there and nothing else, you go ahead and do this. But yeah, I didn't know. I've been playing around with the idea of doing this realistic style in my bullet journals, but if you go back and look at my portfolio, aka my other bullet journal videos, you'll see that a lot of them have this cartoony style. So it's gonna be a process. Occasionally, eventually, we are going to get there, and that is all that matters. We're going to follow the quote for this bullet journal theme, which we will do in a second. But basically what you'll notice is that I have no idea what I want to do for the cover spread, so I said that I'd just go back to it. So now we're going to fill out the next two spreads, and I accidentally planned out my cover spread on this next page, so I used that Faber-Castell eraser just to erase everything. And the reason why the Faber-Castell has a spot highlight in this is not because I'm sponsored. I know, I wish. Please, Faber-Castell, sponsor me because I love you. But they have this really good eraser that I think works really effectively, which is just why it stayed. It made the cut to the final video. Yeah, and so these two spreads are going to be a quote spread and just our blank normal spread. Nothing too fancy. We don't do tracking here. We could, but I don't want to look at my anti-productivity stuff, anti-productive tracking mechanisms. No way, Jose. But yes, so we are going to skip that for a while because I don't know what I want to do for that either, and we are going to go straight into the calendar, which I do have an idea for. So I took out two little pipsqueaks because I couldn't find my Crayola markers, aka I was too lazy to, and I picked two colors that I thought went good with owls. My last bullet journal theme had a color theme of blue, so this color theme I was gray and blue because that's different. Okay, that's different. And I was like, okay, why not? I do change it up a little bit as we go on so that it's not just gray and blue, and I think I like the color scheme a lot in this journal. It's kind of fun just to think things up on the spot. Despite all my bullet journal and productivity videos, I am a very spontaneous chooser of things because I cannot make decisions to save my life. Yeah, that is an issue, but it is okay. It is totally fine. It turned out for the better in this video, and if my spontaneous decisions lead me to make bullet journals, how bad can they really be, right? Yes. So to get back on track, my calendar spread last month I thought was really adorable, but there was something I wasn't vibing with, so I went back to my standard calendar theme, which is just basically two big rectangles with a lot of small squares in between, and I tried to use a ruler, but I don't even think I continued using a ruler because Rulers are for people who can't draw straight lines. And I can draw straight lines, I just choose not to. So, booyah. But yeah, so I do like this. I did a drop shadow, of course, because drop shadows are the key to success when you don't know what to do. Everything looks better with a drop shadow, so that's what I did. This theme is blue. It is really plain. Literally, what you're watching is what it's going to turn out to be, and I don't even have one care in the world about it. So, yeah. So now we're going to do what I like to call the little skippy skip, which is basically where I draw a bunch of numbers to fill in the calendar. But there are a lot of jump cuts in this footage just because, drawing numbers is great and all, but y'all know how to count. I know how to count, so we don't need to see it all. And I did make a little mistake on the left hand side of this calendar spread, and I just went over the mistake with a simple whiteout pen, and it's okay. It still looks fine and it still looks minimalistic, and I like it. So now I didn't know what I was gonna do, but I think I'm gonna go back to the cover spread because I am bothered that I haven't finished it already. And so I took out my trusty dusty ink, and so this De La Rowney ink is really cheap. It's really great. It's India ink. It's literally $3 at Walmart. I love it, and it works, and that's all we want in the world, right? I think like P.H. Martin ink, which is another brand that I really like, it's about $5-6 a bottle for the same amount. So I mean, a $2 saving at the most, or at the least, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. And ink is great for when you are just doodling because it does not warp your page. Actually, I'm pleasantly surprised. Unlike paint and unlike watercolors and markers, there is no bleed through with ink, and it doesn't warp your page. So it is probably the most ideal medium that I have when it comes to big black washes, or when it comes to bullet journals especially. And this owl was lots of fun to paint in. I just got to do the end of my paintbrush was dry because I wasn't using any water. So I got to do those brush strokes that kind of end off in a dry note, so it just looks like feathers. And that was a really cool technique that I enjoyed. I wouldn't say that this owl is very realistic, but that is okay. I still think it turned out really adorable, and when it comes to the wings especially, I think the wings were really cool. Now, if I made my owl a little smaller, then I probably wouldn't have the wings coming off the page. It would be just one of those really cool, like, owl in front of the moon type of thing, which I didn't realize until after. I still, at this point in this bullet journal video, I still did not know what I wanted to do for my owl cover spread, and that is totally fine. I debated around doing some marker technique in the background. I debated doing one of those like Mandela ink drawings, since I already had my ink out, or maybe just a pattern, but then I decided I'd do one of those really cool things and draw a moon. Now you might be wondering why the moon is yellow, and that is because I used a lot of blue in my May spread, and then I used it again in my June spread. So now, I don't know, yellow is edgy, right? Yellow is edgy, so I mixed up some white and some yellow acrylic paint so that it would look okay. And now we are moving on to the dot journaling page, where it's just my brain dump. If I have something that I want to write in, then I have a space for it. And the best thing of it all is that it's pretty. And so this is my sketching of my owl. It's going to be a very stylized owl because I wasn't looking at a reference. I was kind of making it up as I go, but I think my owl turned out great. I didn't bother taking out my ink again for this because the owl was really small, and it's really small. I didn't want to mess it up, and there's no point. So I did it in some pen and ink, and it turned out literally just as good as my first owl. The sketchy marks of the pen made the feathers stand out a lot better than just a flat ink wash, so I do like that a lot. And I think the owl turned out really cute. I just drew the same owl as on the cover spread because I didn't have my reference with me, but I thought it was cute, and I enjoy drawing things that are sitting on other things. I know that sounds so weird, but I mean, when you think of birds are always sitting on branches, and like drawing their little feet. I mean, it's the little feet. Okay, so now that we have finished that, I decided I'd pull out my paint again and do another acrylic wash. And so I painted a moon around the back of the owl's head, and then I decided to take it a step further since there is a lot of white on this page, and I just drew a little box underneath. I think it turned out fine. I mean, it's a box. What am I supposed to say? It's a box, and it was nice. It was nice because now I have somewhere pretty to write. So as we finish off, I'm just going to add in a little more tail texture, and my branch is pretty cute. It's a gray branch, so I think it blends in with the theme that I'm going for, but you'll see more of this gray blue theme in the weekly spread. For now, I think it looks fine and I like it. So yeah, once again, I am testing to see if the paint is dry. Spoiler alert, it is not. I'm just really impatient, so I had to take that out of the signature, which is just the group of pages that I'm working in, to let it dry. Now finally, we were working on the weekly spreads. We do have one more spread to complete after this, but you'll see I just do something really simple. So for this spread, it is the weekly spread. Normally, I said last bullet journal video that I was going to do a week per page, but then for some reason for this page I decided against it. I don't know, just how it turned out, so we have a full week. Also, while I am highlighting the titles with black ink, can we just talk about this spread, this layout of the video, because I found something out the other day, so I want to share it with y'all. I found out that you can flip your video orientation on your editing software. So I know that sounds so stupid because it's like, why didn't you know that? That should be like common sense. But I didn't know that. And so this entire time, all my past videos that you guys have been seeing, I have been drawing my bullet journal spreads with a tripod sitting right in front of me. Which is why I think I was making so many of those mistakes, simply to say because I didn't know what I was doing. Because I either had to look, watch what I was doing from the camera screen, or I had to like peer around, stretch around. You know those images where people like poke their head out of a tree? That was me, but with a tripod. And it was very difficult. But now that I learned that I can reorient my videos, my tripod is sitting across from me right now. I know, isn't that wonderful? I'm so excited. So this spread I am drawing very comfortably, and it is chill, and it is minimalistic, and I have had no problems with this spread, and I really, really like that a lot. So yeah, just wanted to point that out there. If y'all ever are taking videos of anything, you can move your camera around. You can move the video around and warp it and change it all afterwards, and it will be fine and it will be lovely. So from now on, I will no longer be trying to peek outside of a tree to draw my bullet journal spreads. Chip chip hooray! Chip chip hooray! That was not sounding very eager, but I promise you I am so eager about this because it means that I'm just happy. I'm just happy. As happy as someone can be when they're doing this voiceover at 8 a.m. in the morning. Hashtag behind the scenes. So yeah, you can see that I also ended up doing week 2 and week 3 of this bullet journal. I didn't really focus too much time on it because it is just the same as week 1, but I like it. It's simplistic, it's minimalistic, and it will do its job. So finally, last but not least, we're going to do the quotes page. And for this page, I decided to do something really simple. I painted the entire page in this mixture of yellow and whatever it's called, white. And I waited till it's dry. And how do you know it's dry? You put both hands on the sheet of paper, and if nothing comes up, then it's dry. If your hands become yellow, then you know you messed up royally. And so the quote for this video is kind of the theme that I was talking about a little earlier. It's just that sometimes, slow is better. I have been working my butt off to query my manuscript, and recently I have faced a lot of rejection because it's just traditional publishing for literary agents is hard. If you don't know, if this is your first time on my channel, I am a writer, and to be traditionally published, you need to query agents. And that querying process, which is just like an application process, can be tedious and long, and I have just received rejection out of rejection, and it's amazing to hear about how quickly your friends are being represented and how they're all getting full requests for like manuscripts and finished copies of things, and when that's not happening to you, you can get a little down. But at the end of the day, I think this quote is just here to remind me that you can go as slow as you want as long as you get there. I forget who said that quote, but it was someone who was really wise, I'll tell you that. But yeah, slow and steady, and everyone has their own pace. I know some agents are looking for, there's this stigma in the writing community that you need to be young and published, that once you reach a specific age, you're done. You're like done. I guess it's kind of like the pop star singer industry, but that's not the case. That's not the case of reality. Some agents I know are specifically looking for writers who probably decided halfway through their career that they wanted to publish a book, and that is amazing. So yeah, slow and steady, that's my new metronome. Slow and steady as long as you get there. Your pace is your own. No one can tell you that you're not doing what you need to do at a certain time, because everyone is at a different stage in life. So yeah, that is my little tidbit of wise advice for y'all. I may or may not go back and do a total dark blue wash of this first cover spread, but for now I really like it. I love the quotes page and how the jot notes page are cohesive together, and you can see that there is marginally less wrinkle, or not marginally, significant amount of less warping of pages with the use of ink. And I do like the marker spread, and it's minimalistic, it's simple, and I think that's where I needed to go back to, especially for this week. So thank y'all so much for watching this video. Keep an eye out for all my future videos. Thank you so much. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe down below. See y'all next time. Bye.